I've bought quite a few collections during my time on this YouTube channel, and each time I've got a pretty wide variety in Pokemon card stuff. From sealed ETBs to vintage base set to near mint quality cards that I've gotten to grade, I've picked up some really cool Pokemon cards. So you know how crazy it is when I say that today's video is the biggest collection that I have ever picked up, and potentially better than every single other Pokemon collection I've picked up combined. It's a wild ride. I'm just so worried now because of how big this is. Easily the most money that I've spent on a collection on a YouTube video. £2,200 to £2,300 for everything. And probably the biggest deal that I've ever done in my life. Oh no! I have just seen this huge mark. Like someone's bent it like Beckham, dude. So, do you guys remember my first collection, where the guy randomly gave me a Neo Genesis Lugia? That guy was Tom. I'd never met him other than doing that video and that eBay purchase, where I bought his whole Pokemon collection. Well, whilst buying that collection, he said this.
Have you got a lot of cash to splash?
I wouldn't say a lot, but Why?
My mate's got stuff as well.
Really? Oh, okay. Oh no. So, of course, I said yes, I would be interested, and we swapped numbers so I could find out what his friend had available. Then a week later, I got this message. Hey Joe, it's Tom. Hope you're well. You bought some Pokemon cards from me last month. I have some more Pokemon cards and booster packs for sale if you are interested. So I was like, yeah, what have you got? And he just replied with a lot of stuff. So I said, oh no, my wallet doesn't like the sound of that. And then Tom sent me through the pics of what he was talking about. First up was a bunch of Pokemon packs. There's obviously way too much to go through right now, one by one, but some big hitters that are worth talking about. A tag team Japanese pack, a 25th anniversary Japanese pack, some tops packs, which are really cool. I think that's a full box of shiny treasure in Japanese, 2 evolving skies, some hidden fates in the corner, and top left, the pièce de résistance, an EX Emerald pack. That alone would be enough to get excited over, but then I looked at the first binder page, and there's a base set holo Charizard. And you know it's insane when that's not the craziest thing on that page, because there's 2 Mewtwo's, a Blastoise, a Gyarados, a Raichu, 2 first edition Machamps, and a Hitmonchan. And it keeps on getting crazier. Next page, we've jumped from base set to Team Rocket. And there's a holo Dark Charizard, among with holos of a Dark Gyarados, 2 holo Dark Alakazams, 2 Chanseys for some reason, they're not in Team Rocket, and 2 Dark Hypnos that I don't care about too much. But if you think it stops there, it doesn't. I am going to overlay some pictures as I'm talking because there's too many to go through individually. But look, it's page after page after page of insane holos, from base set all the way through to Jungle, to Fossil, to base set 2, to Team Rocket. And then from those same sets, a bunch of commons and uncommons and non-holo rares. This is vintage galore. There were some trainer cards as well from those sets, but you know we don't like those as much. And then to top it all off, there was some more cards from that era, but in Japanese, which I don't personally collect Japanese cards. But don't get me wrong, it's not because I don't think they're really cool. It's because I'm already collecting English cards, and I feel like as soon as I start accepting the fact that I'm also collecting Japanese cards, that opens a whole other avenue of me wasting so much money. I'd way much prefer to just stay in one lane and collect one thing. But when I'm doing a full collection like this, if Tom is looking to get rid of all of these cards, I'm not going to say, hey, I'll just take these, and say no to some amazing arts like this. Because like I said, I still think they look really cool. I mean, look at that holo Gengar, and a Neo Genesis Meganium too. There's some really sick cards in here. And then to top it all off, there was a page of slabs, which did have a mixture of some that I didn't care about, like the Kangaskhan, the Ponyta, and the Get Graded slab, even though that the Magneton's really cool. But then there's a play-stamped Jolteon, which looks kind of sick, a Rainbow Rare Arceus and a Gem Mint 10 PSA, and a Near Mint 7 Dark Charizard, non-holo, but still really cool. And last but not least is a bunch of Topps cards, which for me are in the same boat as Japanese cards, where it's not something that I want to start collecting because I will spend a lot of money on them, but I'm not against having them. They are really cool. So yeah, Tom wasn't kidding about there being a lot of stuff, but I was confused because in the previous collection video, I bought his whole collection. You're not supposed to be able to buy someone's whole collection twice, right? Where did these cards come from? Well, he explained that some of them are his friends and some of them are things that he'd bought from his friend to then resell, and that he has stopped collecting. I said I'd go through and comp everything like I did in our last collection, but wondered if he had like a ballpark figure for everything. And that's when he said 2,200 to 2,300 pounds for everything in the binders. The slabs were 140 pounds, and then the booster packs were 840 pounds. And yeah, there was some really cool stuff in the binders. And based on the conditions of some of these cards, I could definitely see them being worth somewhere close to this, but it did seem like this was a little bit on the high end. So I asked to see a close-up of quite a few of these cards, just so I could get a better idea on the condition and figure out if we are actually close to that evaluation of like £3,000 for everything. And so he sent me through pictures. I asked for pictures, close-ups of like the really more valuable cards, the ones that would drastically affect the price of the overall collection if they were mint as opposed to heavy played. And wow, these seem like they're in really good condition. Bearing in mind, I still think they were in their sleeves when these pictures were taken, but the Charizard looks good. I think something to keep in mind when you're looking at collections like this is seeing the back of the card is really useful for getting a general idea of what the quality of the card is like. You might look at the front of this Charizard and not see any whitening around the edges whatsoever, but when you see the back, you can more clearly see a lot of the edge wear that then would give you an indication of the overall quality of this card. And so when it comes to this Dark Charizard, which looks pristine, you see the back of the card and you're like, damn, there is maybe like 3 or 4 white spots on the edges, but that is a near mint card in my opinion. And apart from this one Mewtwo that had like a big crease down the side, basically every single other card that I asked for a close-up picture of was at worst light play. The quality was amazing, and I would say on average these holos were light play to near mint. And I don't really have enough time right now to go through each one of these individually, so I'll just have these going over as I'm talking, but you can just see how many really cool cards there were. So like my other collection videos, now all that was left was for me to figure out just how much a collection like this is worth. Okay, so we're here again, but this time I've learned from my previous mistakes, and I decided to not record myself going through all of these prices, but I've spent the last couple of hours trawling through eBay and comping the prices of all of these images that I was sent. Now, there was a bunch more that I was sent, but I only decided to go through the holos because I think most of the commons aren't going to be worth that much. But I went through all the Japanese and the regular cards. I priced them up and I did like an average because you can't really tell the condition of a lot of these cards. I've gone for like an average price per card where I'm not paying the top dollar, but I'm not paying the lowest either. So if there was an £8 listing and a £15 listing sold on eBay, then I'd put the card as like £10 or £12. I'd find like the middle ground between them. And that got me to this. And I did use Excel this time. If you've seen my previous video, I used Google Docs. People were roasting me. No need to roast me anymore. So here we have the whole entire thing. We have the price that I have sourced through eBay last sold, and then the amount that there is, the total price that would be then for those. So we've got the Charizard here. I put as 400 because I wouldn't describe the condition as near mint. We got a close-up, and the back of it definitely looks lightly played. Yeah, so this is the Charizard. It looks in really good condition from the front. You can kind of see a couple of, whether it's print lines or scratches on the actual holo foil, it's hard to tell, but it isn't mint condition. And you can see there's some dinks, some areas where the holo foil's definitely, the shine is coming through where the yellow has come off. And then on the back, you can definitely see whitening around the edges. So I think a light play condition is fine for this. And I found similar comps for like £400 for this Charizard specifically. And obviously, as you can see, this is like the most expensive. If you're looking down the card price, this is the most expensive card in this listing. Second is the Dark Charizard, which again, I asked for a close-up, and the condition of this is really, really good. Obviously, I would need to see this up close to be able to tell if that's like a dink in the card, how bad the whitening is, because you can see this corner looks bad. There's a bit of an area there. But centering and surface, this card looks like it's in really good condition. So for this one, I put 150, which was a near mint last sold. But then obviously for some of the others, like a Hitmonchan holo, I'm not like trawling through to get the exact like quality. I don't have an up close picture of the Hitmonchan. It's like £10, £8. You know, it's not anything crazy. Just so you guys have an idea of the time and effort that I'm putting in. Obviously, I'm putting more effort into making sure cards like the Charizards, the more expensive cards like the Blastoise, I'm taking the condition into consideration. And then we have down here the total value, which currently, again, I've only done the holos that were in the listing, is 1,325. Now, the commons do also have value, but I think around £1 to £2. The max maybe would be like a £3 for a base set Charmander, things like that. So currently looking at his price that he gave me, the 2,200 to 2,300 price range for everything in the binder, something seems off because that doesn't seem like an accurate evaluation of everything that's here. And that's not getting into the booster packs, because here are all the booster packs, as you can see here. Tom sent me some screenshots that say, here's all the list of all the sealed booster packs that I have. I think they'd done an eBay listing previously that isn't up anymore, but this is for all the Japanese booster packs. Like you have the Shiny Treasure, you have the Night Wanderer, there's a bunch of things, but there's also the English packs, which are also, he gave me a screenshot for this as well. So the price for everything here is £140 for all the English, and the price for all of the Japanese is £180, which is $320 in total, and then plus the £300 for this EX Emerald, there seems to be a discrepancy there as well, because the price for all the booster packs, he said was $840, but on his own pricing, this doesn't match up either. That's not to say Tom's done anything wrong. I am just confused at the evaluation. So I'm letting you guys in on my headspace going into this because I'm going to give him a message and try and figure out where things have gone wrong. And as a reminder, I'm not putting him on blast. I'm letting you in on my headspace and what I'm thinking about, my thought process through all of these transactions, because I think that's a useful thing for people to see, that it's not easy to not get scammed, you know? It's actually quite hard to not get scammed and to make sure, and not even, when I say get scammed, there is definitely a negative connotation to it, right? I don't think there's any malintent from the seller. I think they're a great guy and they are trying to give me a good price on these cards. So that's why I'm going to message them and try and figure out, well, what's going on here? So I've written out this text. So I was pricing everything up from the binder picks that you sent me, and so far I've gone through the holos and comped it to £1,350. I was also confused because the packs that you sent screenshots of the listing for only added up to £620, not £840. Is there other stuff in that price that I don't have pics of? I didn't price up the tops cards in the binder and didn't include non-holos in my pricing, but £1,300 seems very far from 2,300. So I wanted to see if I'd gone wrong somewhere or misinterpreted something. I think that seems fair. So I've sent that off and I will see what he says. Tom replied and we basically had a really nice back and forth where he clarified, oh, there was actually, you forgot to include these cards in your pricings. Like I hadn't included the tops cards and things like that yet. And then I also clarified that the price discrepancy might be a difference in value depending on like the condition of the card. He mentioned that he'd used TCG Marketplace to get a rough value of each of these cards, which I don't think is the best place to do it, especially not in the UK, because it's all in dollars, and quite often the actual like market value that it says when you just type in the card is wrong. Card Market is a good place if you're looking for somewhere in the UK to get like a rough idea of what people are buying and selling for. But I think the most consistent way is through eBay Last Sold, because they're literally like sold listings. Someone has actually bought them and you can credibly go through and figure out how much you want to spend based on what people are actually spending and not going through what it's listed as, right? Because most of the time, if there's a bunch of listings on any shopping website, whether it's eBay, Card Market, TCG Marketplace, if there's a bunch that are listed there and no one's buying them, it's probably because people are buying out all the ones that are at a decent enough value that people are willing to pay for. So the listings that are still available are probably too expensive and above market price. So me and Tom had a long conversation about the discrepancies of prices and what we were including or what we weren't including. Like I hadn't included the slabs in my pricing, and he mentioned that the packs that he'd shown were technically part of a different collection, so he wanted to get a value of just the things that were in the binder plus the slabs and the tops. And we agreed that all of that added up to £1,750 worth of value, and so then I said I would be willing to do 80% of that value, which is what we did when I bought bought his last collection, I gave him a price and said I'd be willing to pay 80% of that price. However, I felt a little bit bad at this point because if he was expecting it to be £2,200 to £2,300 and I'm offering 1,400, that's like a grand of a low ball. But I don't think it's a low ball because I've gone through and evaluated the prices and done my research to see that this is the price, the market price, and then what I'm willing to pay. Tom then responded, I think fighting for his friend's collection that he's selling, and sent back an offer of £1,600. And this was the point where it kind of hit me. Holy shit, this is a lot of money. But also I've seen the packs that he has available that aren't even included in this collection. So I want to make sure that I buy this collection so I can then go on to buy the other really cool packs too. But weighing that decision alongside spending £1,400 to £1,600 is a lot. And it was a really hard choice to make.
I really don't know whether to do this deal or not. And it's for so much money. And I know that I want the booster packs from him as well. To get the packs, which is something that I would really like to do, and to get the potential to look through the other stuff that he hasn't priced up yet and the other binders that he hasn't priced up yet, I think there's enough value in what I'm getting for it to be worth 1,500. I'm just so worried now because of how much money this is, and I'm the person valuing it, right? Now, granted, he has already valued this at like £2,300. So if I'm going to spend £1,500, which is the deal that I want to offer him, then I think he would say yes to. Like, there's so much pressure in me getting these numbers right. Because again, I'm not like a fucking millionaire. I don't have that much money. Don't get me wrong. I know not everyone can spend £1,500 on Pokemon cards. So I know how lucky I am to be able to even consider this. But what I'm trying to contextualize it for you guys. This is a really big purchase. This isn't just easy money that I'm throwing around. But then I think about the fact that there's a base set Charizard and a holo dark Charizard and a non-holo PSA graded Charizard. But I think the holo Charizard is like in pretty fucking good condition from what I can see on the pictures. I think the base set is like maybe near mint. It's on the border of near mint and lightly played, like maybe an excellent grade, which is really good. And plus there's so much other really sick cards. I think all I'm doing is just convincing myself that I should buy it. Okay, I'm gonna send him an offer, £1,500, that I think he will accept. Because he's offered, I said 1,400, he said 1,600, so the middle ground, 1,500, feels like that's where we're going. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna send him the offer, see what he says.
Now, I really thought Tom would just accept this offer, but it turns out he was cheeky and added £50 onto it. And at this point in my head, adding the £50 is basically like me paying a £50 tax to be able to then buy the rest of this collection. That Tom has said there's more to it, but all I've seen so far are the booster packs, especially that EX Emerald pack. So I accept £1,550 for that first part of the collection. This means that I'm basically paying 90% of my estimation instead of 80%. So it's not amazing, but I am still getting a deal. And then hopefully I'm able to do a little bit of a better deal with Tom on the other stuff. Now, it might sound crazy at this point in the video, but we've got about half of the collection left. Tom sent through another set of binder pictures from 2 other binders that he hadn't shown me any pictures from at all yet. And I'll say it, these binders don't start off too strong. There's some miscellaneous reverse holos or holos from anywhere ranging from XY to Scarlet and Violet, English and Japanese. And don't get me wrong, there are some really cool arts in here, but a lot of this stuff is things that I'm not necessarily interested in because, like I said, I'm trying to not collect non-English cards. So even though like these Evolution Vs look sick, if this was the collection alone, I wouldn't be interested. And that's when you get to this page, which is just Charizards, and I'm back on, baby. English Charizards, sign me up. There's a base set reprint from the 25th anniversary, and that Charizard looks very clean. And I'm a simp for Charizard. There's some really cool artwork here. To go along with the Charizard page, there was also a Blastoise page, and Big Man Blastoise is looking nice. But following that was a bunch of art rares or trainer galleries from Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield in a mixture of English and non-English cards. Some really, really cool arts and promos arts. Those Crown Zenith promos are really nice. And some very cool rainbow rares. But I wouldn't say any of this is something that I would go out of my way to buy a collection of. However, they could be a nice bonus when there are some Charizards, some Blastoises, and then the real piece de resistance from this binder, some vintage Gym Hero holos. I'm talking Blaine's Moltres, Brock's Rhydon, Lieutenant Surge's Electabuzz ×2, Erica's Clefable, Misty's Seadra, Lieutenant Surge's Fearow, which is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a Fearow look good. Surge's Magneton and Misty's Seadra, but stamped, a pre-release stamp. That's so sick. There was also a Tentacruel and a Hitmonchan and a bunch of regular cards, non-holo rares, uncommons, commons from Gym Heroes. There were also some other binders of like incomplete master sets, a bunch of Scarlet and Violet promos, still sealed, and then packs of what look like rip and ships, but that haven't been taken out of their sleeves. I would assume these are like whatnot packs that didn't get any hits that were shipped to him, and he just didn't open them. I don't think this was Tom. I think this is the guy who he's got the collection from. It's funny because some of them still have the guy's whatnot name on, or a sticker from the set that they're on. So this isn't really adding to the value, but again, if I'm buying the whole collection, then there might still be some cool cards in all this bulk. And there was a couple of random sealed things along the way, like this Darkrai V-Star box and a Meowscarada tin, and that's it for that section. But you better not have forgotten about the packs from before, because Tom sent me through a listing that he'd done on eBay of some of these packs, just to give an idea of what was available. For example, there's a bunch of Japanese packs that were available, and this isn't even including the Sun and Moon Tag Team Japanese pack and the 25th anniversary Japanese pack too. And then all of the English packs. There was 3 Hidden Fates, 2 Celebrations, prize packs, and Tops trading packs. I mean, just look at the selection of packs that's available. This is crazy. And let's not forget, in my opinion, the cream of the crop, and one of the reasons why I really wanted this second collection, is the EX Emerald pack. Now, Tom had said to me that this pack was a heavy EX Emerald pack, but I was a little bit skeptical of this, not because I don't trust Tom, but because I don't trust how people view heavy and light packs in Vintage. Now, as far as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but heavy and light only matter in correlation and respectively to the booster box that it comes from. Let's use 20 grams as an arbitrary example. Imagine I take a booster pack from this box and I weigh it, and it's 20 grams, and most of the other packs are 19 grams in that box. That means the 20 gram booster pack is a heavy pack and will probably have a holo in because of that. But I could open a second booster box where I take a pack out, it's 20 grams, but most of the packs in that box are 20 grams, and the heavier ones are 21 grams. Point being that it depends on the print run of those cards and the box, and therefore the respective weight of those packs. A 20 gram booster pack could be heavy for one box, but light for another box. So it only matters if it's heavy or light, respectively, from the booster box that it comes from. So this pack of EX Emerald could be a heavy pack, but the only way you can tell is if you have also weighed the other packs that have come from the booster box that that specific pack came from. So for anyone that's buying any collection online, unless you have seen the pack come from a box, I think you have to assume that it is a light pack, aka there won't be a hit in it, right? There won't be a holo. However, I am a little degen gambler and I love ripping open sealed product. So even if I believe what I'm saying, which is that this is probably a light pack, I'm still gonna probably open it. I don't know if you remember from my first collection video that I did with Tom, but one of the reasons why I really wanted to buy that whole entire collection was it had a pack of Neo Discovery as part of the collection. And when buying it from Tom, I remember he was kind of sad that I said I was going to open the Neo Discovery pack, because in his mind, it's like, I've got to keep this sealed and look after it. It's like a piece of history, and opening it like ruins it. And I completely get that perspective on Pokemon stuff, don't get me wrong, but I am the kind of person that loves to rip their sealed stuff. I'm saying that with a bunch of sealed stuff behind me, but you have no idea how much restraint and resistance it takes to not rip these open every day when I come into the office. Anyway, point being, that Neo Discovery pack that I did end up opening, and it didn't have a holo. The pack was the main reason why I really wanted to buy the first collection from Tom, and this EX Emerald pack is one of the main reasons why I really want to buy this other collection from Tom too. So that's everything from this second collection, and I really wanted to make sure that me and Tom could do a deal because I really wanted all this stuff. But also our first deal, the first collection that we did, was such a good deal where he was such a nice guy, you know, trying to offer me free stuff, and I didn't want him to just give me free stuff. The deal that we made was so good. We both left it feeling like we'd won, you know? And I wanted this deal to feel exactly the same way. So me and Tom worked with each other a lot to like make sure that we got to a price that we were both okay with. And after a little bit of negotiating and also just clarifying what was in this collection because there was a lot of stuff to go through, we agreed on 1,350 for the binder, for the packs, for the promos, for the sealed stuff, and the bulk from all the rip and chips. This plus the other collection added together was in total £2,900. Either of these purchases separately would have easily been the most expensive purchase that I have made on Pokemon cards ever. But putting them together, this was and still is the biggest Pokemon purchase that I've ever made. And all that was left was for me to go and see it in person. Stuck in traffic, but on the way to go and pick up the Pokemon cards. I have the cash, and I'm gonna go in person. I'm still a little bit scared, even though I've already done a deal with the guy. He could, the first deal could have been a trick, and he's gonna scam me, but we don't know, we'll see. I'm nervous, but I think everything's gonna go fine. Honestly, I'm nervous in like an excited way, that I'm like, holy shit, I get to actually see these cards. This deal has been like back and forth for maybe like a month now, and I've seen the cards this whole time. Please be in good condition, please. All right, I'm here, I'm on the road, I have the cash. This is a fucking wodge of cash, by the way. Same deal as last time, where I'll wait till he gives me the okay, and then I'll record, maybe. I've told him I do YouTube videos as well, so we'll see how this goes. Right, where do I start? All right, I'm just gonna look through this all. Holy wait, you have to look at this. Da 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 da. Mate, it looks, that's like such good quality. Yes, mate. Those Charizards are clean, aren't they? Now, watching back the footage, I know that I should have taken these out of their sleeves, and you'll see later that I definitely should have taken them out of their sleeves. But at the time, I was thinking I'd already seen the quality of these cards in the pictures. In my head, I was just going through to check that all the cards were there, and that he hadn't like taken some out and was trying to scam me. I should have checked the quality of these. Bear in mind, this is January, this is 6 months ago. I've learned from my mistakes, don't roast me in the comments. How long has it taken you to get all this? How long have you been collecting? This all is... All this. Damn.
I sold on like 7 months maybe.
Really?
To get all this.
Wow. That's great. 7 months and all this. Yeah, I can imagine. Then Tom showed me all of the Gym Hero holos, and they look so nice. I flicked through the remaining binders just to make sure that everything was there. Got the EX Emerald pack along with all of the other packs that were there. And once I was happy that all of the most valuable and sought after parts of the collection for me were there, I started packing everything up, putting them in my box. Just like last time, Tom's dad came in and gave me a bin bag to stick over the box because it was raining outside, which is very nice. Shout out to Tom's dad. And then that was it. The deal was done. Cheers, Tom.
Always.
Pleasure doing business.
This will be the last time.
Well, will it be? You say, oh, my friend, I've got another friend, and he's got... All right, there it is. We're back at the car, and you can't really see inside, but we have everything. He even did a Tom special of adding on something extra, which is nice. Granted, the something extra wasn't a Lugia like it was last time. I think it was a Graffarai, like, promo, and a cheeky little, like, 25th anniversary binder. And there was the other binder as well that was completely new. Once again, feeling very happy about this transaction. I think we did a good deal, but God, was it a lot of money. Oh, no. Right, here we are. Oh, back at the office. Ignore the mess. We have some Pokemon cards to go through. Unlike the last purchase that I got from Tom, this is primarily just really sick cards. Get rid of the bin bags. First, we're gonna get this all out, and then I'll show you individually. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 binders. Not all of them are full, and in fact, this one is completely empty because it's brand new. So I've got a brand new Voltex binder. I actually needed some binders anyway, and he threw this in for free. Really appreciate that, Tom. Thank you. Oh, technically, we have another binder because this one was thrown in for 3 as well. I forgot. The 4-page Dragapult 25th anniversary celebrations little mini binder. Then we have some, I guess, sealed product, even though this is no longer sealed. It is just the promos. We have a sealed Meowscarada tin. Is that how you say her name? Meowscarada. I did look up what packs were in this, but I've completely forgotten. And this looks really cool. We have a Darkrai V-Star box, which has 8 packs in, 4 Astral Radiance, 2 Lost Origin, and 2 Brilliant Stars, plus some really nice Darkrai promos. I am definitely going to be opening this up. Maybe not in this video, but at some point on the channel. And then in here, we have basically a bunch of bulk. All of these cards are basically from Tom's friend, and Tom bought some of the collection off him to sell himself. And I think each one of these is like the bulk cards from pack openings, and this whole entire box is just full of each one of those rip and ships, essentially. And then in this box, we have a couple more rip and ship things, but the main things in here are the slabs. Now, one of the slabs, I honestly might break out of it. It's from Get Graded, which I've never even heard of or seen before, but it is a very nice Magneton holo from Fossil. And then the others are all PSA. One of them is just this random Kangaskhan. I'm not sure why that got graded, but there's some cool cards here. There is a Play Jolteon V, Ponyta, a PSA 9, a Gem Mint 10 Arceus V-Star Rainbow Rare, which is very sick, and my personal favorite out of these, a Dark Charizard, is a PSA 7. It's non-holo, but it is sick, and I'm looking at it and trying to find what would make it a 7. It looks really clean, which has therefore got me worried about some of the cards that I've sent off in my submissions. I don't know if those videos will be out yet, but currently I've sent some cards off to PSA and sent some cards off to Ace Grading. And if this is clean and this is a 7, then hey, maybe some of the cards I sent off aren't even close to a 10. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there, you know? There's some other random cards in here, some top loaders, some other bulk, some random promo cards. I think this is a promo anyway. Last but not least is this box, which has some really cool shit in. We've got a bunch of sealed promo cards here from basically like every single ETB sealed product that you can think of. None of them are Pokemon Center stamped. And then an insane amount of booster packs. This whole entire thing is full. A lot of these packs are Korean, but there's a lot of English hidden down here. We've got some like Hidden Fates packs, for example, and the cream of the crop, the EX Emerald pack. Just some crazy stuff. Oh yeah, this sealed Shiny Treasure V, I think, booster pack. I think this is Korean, maybe Japanese. Someone told me in the last video. I kept on calling everything Japanese. This is Japanese, okay. And a lot of it was Korean, but this one is actually Japanese. Some other cool stuff like some Celebrations packs. I think a lot of these I'm going to be opening at some point. I'm not really sure what to do with the Japanese packs and the Korean packs, because I'm not really that into those kind of cards. We've also got some Tops packs, which are really cool, and some prize pack packs, that have the Play Pokemon stamp on them. I think there's 2 different booster packs of these. So, like I said, really cool stuff. That's everything that is in here, and the bulk of the price comes from the binders, so we need to start going through the binders. All right, let's go through this. So first of all, I wanted to take a closer look at the promos that I got. We have the Snorlax, Pikachu. This one's not interesting for some reason, but they're all sealed. The Mimikyu, the Ogerpon, another Pikachu, another Mimikyu, Charmander, which is very nice. A random Hatterene and a Spartha EX in the middle of this. Eevee VMAX, another random Surfetch thrown in, and the Mewtwo from the UPC. So some really cool promos. These two binders are incomplete. They're incomplete master sets of two different sets. This, I think, this is Twilight Masquerade. So as you can see, not complete. But this one is maybe the least complete. There's a couple of the art rares here, but that's it. But we get the cool binder, which feels nice. It's got like a tactile thing to it, and it's Pikachu. And this is like the yin to the yangs is also Pikachu, but and made of the same material. And this is a little bit more complete. This is Paldean Fates, and it's not doing like every single common and then the reverse for the common. So it's not a master set, whatever it's just a set, right? But it's pretty close to being complete. The only thing that is holding it back is obviously the shinies, because there's so many baby shinies in this set. But there is a good amount here, as you can see from flicking through. Now I have most of these baby shinies already. The full arts are pretty nicely laid out, which is nice. This Mew is cool. The Alakazam's cool. I have doubles of a lot of these, so I'm not really after much of them. However, I do actually need this Arven and this gold Tinglu. I'm pretty sure I have the Clive. I think I might need that Nemona. I can't remember. And this is the only SR, and this is the only gold card, which is fine. That completes this binder. So this binder definitely had a lot more to it. Okay, now we're getting onto the good stuff. This is the binder from the first half of the video. This cost me about £1,500 just for everything that is in this binder. But honestly, the collection is kind of sick. Let me go handheld for this just so you can see. Some amazing cards, like the Blastoise from base set, which all things considered is in pretty good condition. Like whitening towards the bottom. This is not a grade worthy card, but a lot of the pricings that I did for these, I did it based on them being in like good to light play condition, and I think that makes sense for a lot of these. But just to have in a binder and to be able to look at, that is so worth. Like I could sit here for ages just staring at these. The Raichu looks amazing. There's some scuffs there. I can't tell. Hold on, let me see if the scuffs are actually on the card. They are. Damn, I do think that's like dirt that would be able to come off. I don't want to scratch it myself. And a lot of the top of this card has some wear to it. Can see. So like I said, some of these cards I was expecting to not be in the greatest of condition. Then we get some dark cards, and I will be honest, I'm hoping that a lot of these dark cards are in good condition. This dark Alakazam, for example, looked pretty good. In the sleeve, I'm already seeing some whitening, but I'll take him out. I'll have a look. Oh, there's a big dent. Damn, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can definitely see that. It's huge. What about this Alakazam? Because luckily we have two. Oh, much better condition. The holo looks good. There is some big edge wear at the top here. But again, for a binder, this is nice. Because I'm not purchasing these cards to then go on like and grade them and get like, I'm not trying to make a quick buck and a profit off these cards. I just want cool cards to look at. And obviously the nicer the condition, the better. But some of these are clean, like this Dharma Champ. Damn, that looks so nice. This is actually in really good condition. Like the holo itself is very nice. There is some edge wear at the top. You can see that there's like a point that catches the light. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Centering good. This one's okay. And then we've got to take a look at Rocket Zapdos, dude. The artwork on this is so bizarre and I love it. Holy. Like the rain coming down as the holo. And then Zapdos looks crazy in this. I don't think I've ever seen Zapdos be drawn like that. There is like issues with the corner, like this corner here. You can see the whitening. I'm saying the whitening like it's a disease. He's caught a case of the whitening duck. Like I said, the card looks sick. The unfortunate part about this, I guess, is the fact that all of these cards look sick. Is like, what do I spend time on? Like this Dark Alakazam is base set Dark Alakazam. This is a regular Alakazam. It is base set 2, but base set 2 has different foil than base set. And I do love the different foil. There's a lot of edge wear on the top here. It catches the light, so it's not, again. I'm only talking about the condition because I want to get better at being able to see if like cards are in good condition or not. And I think sending cards off for grading is always fun. But at some point, there's got to be like a reason for you sending them off, right? I don't know, this looks good though. The whitening. There's like a weird, like, I don't know what it is, like a faded marks on here, but the holo itself looks good, and this Ninetales art is amazing. We're gonna keep going and have a look at the jungle cards. There's some really cool ones down here. I hate the Mr. Mimes, I'll be honest, but there's 2 Mr. Mime holos, so you gotta appreciate them. This Vaporeon looks nice. Oh, the holo is scratched up though. But you can't really tell when it's in the sleeve, so that's okay. Light play, yeah. Not worth a grade, but worth a look because it looks sick. Oh, speaking of cards that look sick, yo, Articuno, Zapdos, and Aerodactyl. This Haunter looks so cool. I love the fact that Haunter, for some reason, got a holo, even though he's only a second Evo. Usually that's like holo is reserved for Final Evolution. And honestly, the holo on this looks good. Shame that, again, the top. I think a lot of the time, the sleeves aren't really protecting them that well, and if they're like peeking out of their sleeve, then they'll get like edge wear all along the top, and you can see, especially on holos, this like shine where the top layer of the card has come through, so that sucks. Let's keep going through the binder though. Oh, and here we have just a bunch of commons, bunch of base set commons. The Squirtle looks amazing. The Electabuzz down here. There's a second card behind this Electabuzz. What's going on here? Oh, a gust of wind! It's just chilling behind the Electabuzz. We'll stick him back. Oh, and some more really, really nice, just regular commons. They're all from Fossil, I think, this. This Moltres and Articuno, non-holos, still look amazing. Oh, and then a bunch of dark cards. Dude, this Dark Blastoise is a non-holo, but it looks so sick. I think it's pretty clean too. This is like pack fresh, I'm thinking. I feel like the cards from like this point onwards have been like literally just packed, and someone like the person that I bought this off, Tom, who's selling it for his friend. The friend, I think he was telling me was like addicted to whatnot and was just buying things that he didn't really even know what he was buying. So I think a lot of them, like he would buy like a sealed pack and then open them. Or he would do a rip and ship and get them to open the sealed pack. And then I'm assuming just they would seal it up pack fresh and then he would put it in this binder pack fresh. There's a bunch of very nice cards here. Like, dude, this Eevee art is amazing. So when I say nice cards, I mean like I'm so stoked to get them. It's not like, oh, I'm going to make so much money off this. But that's not the point of me buying this, as I would like to think that you guys have understood by now from watching the video. This Charmander and the Bulbasaur, holy, they're so sick. And the Ghastly, I opened this on a short on my channel the other day, and people were like, dude, that Ghastly art is so nostalgic. And it is. And this is, well, this isn't the exact card it's from, because this is base set 2, but this is like the OG of that nostalgic art, nearly. And it doesn't stop, it keeps going. Page after page after page of commons from all of these packs, and I'm assuming they're the packs that he opened. This Ninetales. I remember when I was looking this up, I was like, what the hell is this card? Oh, and it is beat to fuck up. Dude, it looks so clean from this side. That's so funny. Hey, so I might have taken an L on some of the pricings that I've done for some of these cards. Oh, but here we go. I forgot about this section. This Japanese section of just a bunch of rando holos. Let's take a look at this Meganium, for example. From Neo Genesis, the same set that I got my Lugia from. Ah, damn, there is some damage up top here. Pretty clean. I'm not a huge Meganium fan, but it's still nice to look at. Speaking of nice to look at, this Moltres says moderate play on it, but the holo looks pretty nice. Oh, you can see the edges there. Definite moderate play. It's not a in great condition, but the art is still... That's the thing. The condition of the card doesn't change the art. And I'm sure there are a lot of people, hopefully there isn't anyone that's got to this point in the video that is like, oh, he's just coping because blah, blah, blah. Like, everyone that's got to this point in the video should probably understand by now that I just love the art of these Pokemon cards. I'm not investing. I'm not looking to resell. I am appreciating the cards. And this is damn right, Near Mint Plus. This is a clean card. And this Gyarados looks so cool. Giovanni's Gyarados. Holy, that looks sick. Oh my god, I forgot this was in this. Look at this Gengar, dude. Holy, let's get it out of the sleeve. What are we thinking on this? Oh, this does look clean. The centering isn't amazing. Oh, and there is some nicks on that corner there and at the top. And a little bit of damage there. I'm not sure what that was. I tried to wipe it off. It doesn't wipe off. Oh, and this corner's bad. Okay, this isn't good condition, but the holo is in amazing condition, and that's kind of all that really matters, right? I love this artwork, dude. And I love Gengar. It's so sick to have, like, a classic Gengar card. Oh, and then some Topps cards. I wasn't really sure about these, and I've also got a Topps pack that I can open, but I'm not too crazy on any of these. I think this Pikachu is sick, but, like, otherwise, I don't really care about them. Oh, they've got a cool back. Here's one Pokemon you're bound to get a charge out of. Literally. Sick, though. Okay, so that's the end of this binder. However, there are 2 cards that I left out of that binder that I took out before I showed you guys through because they're a majority of the price of that binder. And we have not 1 Charizard, but 2 Charizards. And they are in pretty fucking good condition. All things considered, throughout, like, when I was looking at some of the cards in this binder, I was like, damn, a lot of these aren't in as good condition as maybe I thought they would be. These Charizards are in better condition than I thought they would be. So, already you can see... Oh, no! Okay, I have just seen this huge mark. I was barely looking at it. I looked at all the edgeware and I was like, yeah, the edgeware's okay, but the holo's clean. The holo is clean, but there's a big fucking bend in it. Like someone's bent it like Beckham, dude. No, look at that. Oh my god. Okay, hey, I can't rave about this one that much, but this is still a pricey ass card, all things considered. I'm gonna give him a new sleeve. Looking at the stamp mark on it, I think I definitely overpaid for this, which sucks. In terms of like what I priced it at for my general collection, I think in total, I haven't overpaid for everything, you know, as like a collective. I think me and Tom did a really good deal, but I valued this at about, I think, £400. And I was expecting some edgeware, and there's a lot more edgeware than I thought. And this stamp, which obviously I didn't see, the huge fucking dent in it that's going across there. I couldn't see from the pictures, and I didn't even see, I took this out to have a look at it at Tom's place, and I didn't see it then either. So that's on me for not noticing that. But I still think this is like £250 to £300 Charizard. Because raw, finding them when the holo's kind of like scratch free, even though there's a big dent on it, is still really tricky. However, I feel much better about this Charizard. I'm saying that. Let me double check for any stamps. Oh yeah, I feel much better about this Charizard. There isn't a single scratch or blotch or anything. Oh, there is something there. I don't know if you can see that dark patch. I have no idea what that is. And then the top of the card has some whitening. Okay, there's a decent amount of edgeware, but the front of this card, for a dark Charizard holo, this is a very, very clean card. And my intention for both of these was never to, like, make a quick buck or whatever. Like, I still think their value could be around 500 for both of them, which is what I valued it at, and then I paid 80% of that. So it's still a really good deal. But for me, I would pay a little bit more for these specifically, just because both of these cards I used to have, and I'm so happy that I have them again. you know? Especially the fact that I got scammed for my last base set Charizard. You know how that went. This one wasn't a scam, but it's also didn't turn out how I wanted and was damaged. Bro, what is my luck with base set Charizards? Why can they never just be clean? I just want a clean Charizard, dude. Last one had Sharpie on. This one has a stamp in it. What the fuck? Okay, so that was just one binder. And we have 2 more to look through. Here's the next one. Just look at this binder, dude. The orange Charizard. Holy, it looks so sick. Okay, and right off the bat, we are out of vintage and into some more modern stuff. I'm not going to spend too much time on a lot of these pages because although, for example, like we've got some evolutions here, I think most of these are from Evolving Skies. I think Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies, I think. I worked it out before when I priced them up. But a lot of these are just cool EXs mixed in with like some gold cards and stuff. There's not anything that's worth an insane amount of value, or that is something more importantly that I care about too much. There's a couple, like this Eevee, that I think look really cool. And then these Rainbow Rare cards are amazing. And I do like this Venusaur EX, which, damn, this Venusaur EX, bro, that's been through the trenches. Holy. That's why I think it's good paying the price that I did for a lot of these, where it's like, I comped it at a fair value and then discounted that fair value, because some of the cards that are in here are just going to be in bad condition. And Tom doesn't have the time to go through every single card and value it based on its condition. So I do a ballpark and get a discount. I think that's the kind of deal that we made. So like some cool trainer cards down here. This Zekrom with N is really nice, this trainer gallery. And the Eevee and the Jolteon looks so sick. The Vaporeon as well. There is some really cool cards through here. And then there's some not so cool ones that are just commons. But some regular Vs, some promos. Oh, this full art Gengar from 151 looks very nice. But just flicking through here, we've got some Paldean Fates cards, some Rayquazas. Oh, I missed Gold Dialga up here. I think this is his like special form from V-Star that was from Legends Arceus. I don't know. I can't really remember what happened at the end of that game, to be honest. 2 of these Absols look amazing. Look at the art on that and the shine of the holo. So clean, so sick. And this Sudowoodo, dude, some of the art rares and then the trainer galleries from the last couple of years look amazing. This Sudowoodo is so cute. Just acting like a tree, no one notices the difference. And then here's a 151 page, which is really nice. The Bulbasaur, 2 of the Bulbasaurs, the War Turtle. I'm actually yet to open a single 151 pack, and I'm saving myself till marriage. So I don't actually, these are the first 151 cards that I'm like owning. They're not English, so they don't count really. And then this double page, this is crazy. We have Charizards over here, the 25th anniversary one, which apparently is like in super pack fresh clean condition, which you can't really tell unless I take it out. So let's take it out. Sleeve is bent over, which is not a good start. Yeah, I would say pretty clean. It's got a really nice texture to it, the 25th anniversary, the celebrations card. I'm gonna give him a new sleeve for sure. Very, very nice card. I'll stick him back for now. And then other cards to look at whilst I'm here. This Charizard GX from Sun and Moon. I think this is a promo from like a tin. I know that because I've nearly bought the tin, I think. But a very, very sick promo nonetheless. Now, this Blastoise might be confusing because it was to me initially. This is from that random... the thing that was released relatively recently. It's like this black big case with a Pokeball. I'll stick a picture in for the edit. It came with a Blastoise, a Charizard, and a Venusaur. But they look exactly the same as their base set arts. You kind of need a decent eye to be able to tell the difference. And also, they have a different stamp in the bottom left. But I feel like a noob person in Pokemon would get tricked by that. And overpay for a card that isn't actually worth as much as it comes across, which sucks. There's also the 25th anniversary Blastoise, there's a Radiant Blastoise, there's some really cool cards in here. That page was definitely one of the best out of this binder. Is that it in here? Oh no, we got some more. Oh, we got a mixture here. We got some XY Evolutions packs that were definitely opened here. with some break cards, Venusaur and the Slowbro and the Pidgeot. These Slowbro EXs, we actually pulled one of these on the channel. This Zapdos EX, I think is from 151, but looks very nice. And oh my god, I was gonna say this Mewtwo EX looks sick. It's not even in a sleeve. What the hell are we doing here? Let me get a sleeve right now. All right, we're sleeved up. And then we keep going, and holy, none of these are in English, but we get a really, really nice evolutions page. We got some Umbreons, which I think are promos from tins, or at least they are in English. Some Glaceons, Leafeons, a Flareon, Vaporeons. Dude, this artwork is so nice. I know in English, this is definitely a promo. I've seen it. I've seen the like box that it comes in, but just having the art is amazing. And the texture on this, so sick. But we can appreciate the art. That's all that we need to do here. Celebrations cards. I think that one's a promo. Nothing crazy. Some more celebrations. Is that everything? Oh, no, we've got even more at the back. We got some Pokeball rares from, I think, Japanese 151. I don't think any of those were in sleeves, which is crazy. And then we end with some random cards. This is a holo Beautifly. Kind of interesting. So that's that binder, but there's another binder, which is crazy. There's so many cards. And this binder has, again, some of the coolest cards in. I feel like I'm saying that a lot. But here we have Gym Heroes holos. And the coolest one that I really want to see the condition of is this Blaine's Moltres, because the holo of this looks so sick. Are there scratches or is it raining in the card? Wait, I actually can't tell. Maybe I'm coping. I think at a certain angle, I don't know if it picks up on the camera, but there are like a bunch of lines going down. They've got to be scratches, which sucks because otherwise this card is like insanely clean. There's like whitening, couple dots, but nothing crazy. That's such a nice card. Sorry, a lot of this I wasn't even on the camera. This is such a nice card. Let's stick him away because there's another really nice card that I want to take a look at. Lieutenant Surge's Fearow. What's Lieutenant Surge doing with a Fearow, dude? Damn. This is a nice card. There's definite edgeware around this one in comparison. And scratches going down the card. You can definitely see, yeah, definitely scratches from the last one. Centering not great on this either, so it was never going to be a graded card. But I don't think I would have ever said, yeah, there's going to be a Fearow card out there that looks good, right? Fearow's just like a really rogue shout for a good Pokemon. But this artwork, this Gym Heroes one, I don't know why Lieutenant Surge has got a Fearow, but it looks sick. It makes way more sense that he would have a Magneton. And this art looks amazing. Look at that boy. And then an Electabuzz. There's two of these, and both of them are in pretty good condition. Like, we're looking at 2 blotches, maybe 2 white spots, and no scratches on the holo. So, very, very cool holos here. And some more from Gym Heroes. We got Misty's Tentacruel and Rocket's Hitmonchan. And then here are some of the commons from those sets, from the Gym Heroes set. So we've got like Lieutenant Surge's Pikachu, Blaine's Charmander. There's some like really cool cards down here. Sabrina's Ghastly, I love. I'm trying to get it in shot so it's not got the ring light. Sabrina's Ghastly looks sick. These 2 Brock Sandshrew, I think I'm going to give to my friend Jamie because he loves Sandshrews. Some more Gym Challengers commons. Oh, and I think that's it from this binder. Okay, I wasn't expecting any more cards-wise, but I couldn't remember what was in what binder. And again, we get the binder, right? That's another W. And that's all the cards. I'm gonna now go through all of the packs that we got because I briefly showed, but we didn't really like go through it properly. We saw this, the Shiny Treasure, and the big boy, the Heavy EX Emerald pack. We have the 2 Celebration packs, 3 Hidden Fates, 2 Tops packs. Oh, an extra Shiny Star EX, or whatever the hell this is, Shiny Treasure EX. And another 2 Evolving Skies, which is very sick. A Tag Team GX in Japanese, which is very cool. And another 2 Play Pokemon prize packs, Series 3 and Series 4. They'll be interesting to open for sure. I don't really know what's in them. 2 VMAX something packs. I don't know what the fuck these are. 1 Champion's Path pack, which is a beefy fucker. I don't know why this feels so big. There's got to be a big hit in this. And then a bunch of random Paldea Evolved, Vivid Voltage, Paradox Rift, Twilight Masquerade, Silver Tempest, Paradox Rift, a 25th anniversary pack from Japan, a couple miscellaneous ones that I don't really know. Maybe this is Silver Tempest. I know this is the person from Paradox Rift, but I know also Japanese sets, they switch their shit up, right? Their sets are like split in half compared to ours. They combine 2 sets to make one of ours. So this will be one half of Paradox Rift, and I'm assuming this is the other half of Paradox Rift. Got some 151 Japanese packs. A bunch of what I think is Crown Zenith, but in Japan. Oh, and maybe more of that? I'm not sure. This is also gold, so maybe this is the other side of it. Who knows? And then an ungodly amount of whatever this set is. I think it's their version of Shrouded Fable, right? Which I'm not too keen on, but damn do we have a lot of it. That's everything. There's a definite mixture. I'm feeling like it's hard for me. I know that I've priced everything up, but it's hard for me to get a decent, like, bearing on the scale of all of the packs and cards that I've bought. I think the condition of a couple of the cards from the binders got me feeling a little bit upset. Not upset. I think that's too far. It left me feeling like I wasn't getting as good a deal as I thought I was. And it also makes me upset because even on my first video where I bought the whole collection, where it really felt like a good deal, there were people leaving comments that were like, oh my god, this guy got scammed. And the guy gave you the Lugia just because he felt bad for you for ripping you off. I'm like, bro, neither of those are true. Obviously, I went through and I priced everything. I know the value of those cards. And I did the same today, but it feels bad when I look at the card and I'm like, oh wait, that's worse quality than I thought it was going to be. That's in worse condition than I thought it was going to be. In my head, that gives more of an in to all of the dickheads that would comment being like, hey, you're a fucking idiot. I can't believe you didn't do this thing. You got scammed. It allows them to have like an in to be able to leave those comments. Like Lamal, look at the Charizard, he got scammed. And the kind of people that leave those comments are also the kind of people that don't really give a shit about Pokemon cards. They don't care that like the thing that they're looking at is really cool. They don't appreciate the art. All they care about is like, oh, he spent this much and isn't going to be able to get his money's worth if he tries to resell it. That's a bad investment. Bro, it's not an investment. They're fucking cards. These are pieces of card that children play with that I just happen to like the look of. I am not buying it because this is like my 401k. I'm going to retire and this will be my pension when I sell it all off. No. Bro, when I retire, I'm going to buy more Pokemon cards. I'm not going to sell the ones that I currently have for value. It really pisses me off because this is just me appreciating my cards and in the back of my head being made to not appreciate it because I can imagine what the comments are going to say on the video. And those dickheads are making me appreciate my cards less. And I need to stop that. Nip that in the bud. Dude, I'm reminding myself, I'm looking down here, and I'm looking at this fucking Blaine's Moltres in person, and this is mine. This is mine, and it looks sick. And I'll say it, the Blaine's Charizard from the Gym Hero set is kind of trash. They just used the artwork, like the art of Charizard that's on the game front cover, the game cover, the case cover, what's it called? The front cover of the game, and just put it on a card. I think it's cool when they come up with original art, you know? So I actually don't like Blaine's Charizard. I think Blaine's Moltres is maybe the best card in that set. But where's my boy? Where's my boy? Yes! Dude, base set Charizard. And my Dark Charizard Holo. That's in like really good condition, as I said. There is like a couple of notches on the side. And there's this weird shadow bit. I need to look into what the weird shadow bit is. Maybe get it cleaned. I don't know. And even look at the Dark Gyarados, which isn't in very good condition. But I have a Dark Gyarados, dude. Oh, they're so sick. They're so sick. I love the cards. I'm happy with this purchase. And to be honest, I can't wait to open all of these packs, bro. Look at this. Bigger than my head. There's so many packs. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and the really cool collection that I managed to pick up. Shout out to Tom for doing another really good deal. And honestly, for his sake, I hope I'm never buying a collection from him again because he's managed to get out, you know, he's solved the addiction. Don't go back in. Don't come back in, Tom. I hope you're not watching this video. But for the people that are watching this video, if you did enjoy, hey, maybe give a like, comment, or click on some of the videos that are on screen right now. If you liked this one, you're probably going to enjoy these. And I'll see you in the next video. Maybe this one or this one. Bye.